on the GS today. It's a bit windy and we're steaming up. So we could do a 5 things I like about the GS, but we're not going to. We'll just do a what I like about the GS. It's easier. It might be 5, it might be 8. Now for me, the GS, or in fact any good sized adventurer bike, is just so nice to ride compared with a sports bike. Ever since I bought my first sports bike when I was about 23 years old, I've always found them uncomfortable. Wrists, arms, back. You put up with it more when you're in your 20s. And I bought my first GS around 3 years ago. The white 1200 LC 16 plate. And it was just such a nice bike. The bike I had before that was a Triumph Tiger 800. I think it was an XCX. Nice bike, but I've always wanted a GS and never really got around to getting one, and the GS is just such a nice bike. I mean, this thing, it's got presence, you know, it's big. You're on the motorway here, it's a big bike. I came down here on my R90 yesterday, and you feel it feels smaller. This just, you've got presence, you know, people see you. I like it. Yeah, I mean, if you're really small, this could be an issue riding a GS, although they do low versions with low seats and I think lower suspension, but they are quite heavy. It's just a great bike. I mean, the tank range on this thing is just unbelievable. You know, best part of 400 miles. Average MPG I've been getting out of this since I've had it is around sort of 50 to the gallon. You can have good fun with these on country roads. I prefer riding this around country roads to a sports bike any day of the week. You know, and we've got to be careful now with speeding, he says, doing 85. But, you know, sports bikes, they go so fast, you can end up on a dangerous driving charge and lose your licence and be ready for a retest in God knows when, and try and find someone to insure you afterwards. The riding position on this for me is perfect. I have put bar risers. I've got 40mm bar risers on this. The seat's on its high position. I'm about 6'1", 6'2", and this riding position is perfect, absolutely perfect. The other week when I done the DGR ride, 500 miles in a day, didn't get uncomfortable on it. It was a pleasure to ride. And the other thing with the BM is it's actually not that expensive to service on its interim services. The 12,000 mile service is head shims, but I've not had one of those done on either of the bikes yet. It's going to be more expensive than the interim, but it's not going to be as expensive as a Triumph service, I can guarantee you that. Having owned a few Triumphs, the service on my GS is always cheaper than the interim service on the Thruxton R I've got, which is basically going to be the same thing. It's normally about £30–40 cheaper than Triumph. And then the other comment you get quite a bit with a GS is, oh, he must have given up motorcycling, he's bought a GS. Funny. I've ridden more miles on my GSs than I've on any other bike. You just, you know, they're lovely bikes to ride, and you go out and ride further because you're more comfortable, and you know, you still enjoy riding the bike. Bike's a bike, doesn't matter what you're on. You know, you've got to be comfortable when you're riding a bike, and you know, I've never really been one, when I had even sporty toury type bikes, to go out and do 300 miles in a day. I just didn't find it that comfortable. But with these, I say, it doesn't have to be a GS, Tiger, and all the Japanese ones, not sure what they do, don't really pay much attention, but you know, they're all adventure bikes, just so much more comfortable, and they're good fun to ride round A roads and B roads. And when you're in a sitting upright position like this, it always feels faster anyway, so you know, it's better. You're still getting that buzz, but you're not actually going quite as fast as you are when you're sort of down here somewhere. So having just done the same ride yesterday on the Scrambler R90, I can honestly say this is a lot more comfortable. And that isn't too bad, but this is just heaven. So on that note, oh, and one other thing, yeah, GS riders seem to have this thing, or other motorcyclists have this thing about GS riders being a bit high and mighty. Oh look, lovely. The whole road. I think I don't know, perhaps some are. I don't know. I like riding bikes. I don't really care what bike I'm on. I'll acknowledge people, whatever. You get a lot of people don't acknowledge you when you're on a bike, so you know, it's a 50-50 thing there. I think that's it is what it is. So here you have it, why I like the GS. So on that note, I'm going to go and get a latte at the original tea hut in High Beach, Epping Forest. Look at it, lovely autumn day. Well, there's quite a few bikes here.